In the quiet, manicured streets of Crestwood Meadows, where every lawn was trimmed to perfection and the community pools sparkled under the summer sun, life was orderly, almost too orderly. For 3 years, I'd called this suburban haven home, a place where conformity reigned supreme under the iron grip of the Homeowners Association. The HOA's rules were less guidelines and more commandments, enforced with zeal by its president, Diane Mitchell. Diane, in her mid-50s, with a crisp bob haircut and oversized sunglasses perpetually perched on her head, ran Crestwood like a fiefdom. Her clipboard was her scepter, her sharp tongue her sword. I tangled with her before once over a trash can left curbside an hour too long, another time for grass deemed a fraction too wild, and my favorite, a scolding for wind chimes that dared disturb the neighborhood serenity. I'd learned to dodge her radar, but last Saturday, I found myself ringside to a spectacle that's now the talk of Crestwood, the ice cream truck showdown. It was a golden afternoon, the kind that hums with childhood memories. I was kneeling in my front yard, planting petunias approved by the landscaping committee, naturally when the cheerful jingle of an ice cream truck drifted down the street. The sound was pure nostalgia, conjuring VY scions of sticky fingers and sprinting after that elusive tune. Kids poured from their houses, their laughter mingling with shouts for dollar bills. Parents trailed behind, smiling at the simple joy of it all. The truck, painted in cheerful pastels, rolled to a stop, its melody a beacon of summer bliss. Then, like a storm cloud blotting out the sun, Diane's front door slammed open. She stormed down her driveway, shoulders squared, chin thrust forward, clipboard clutched like a battle standard. I'd seen Diane's crusades before. She'd once banned a lemonade stand for unpermitted commerce, but the fire in her eyes today was something else, almost unhinged. "Excuse me," she bellowed, her voice slicing through the music. "This neighborhood has strict solicitation rules. Did you obtain an HOA permit to enter this private community?" The driver, a kindly man in his 60s with a graying mustache and warm eyes, looked baffled. He turned down the jingle and leaned out his window. "Ma'am, I'm Tom Rivera. I've been coming here for years. The kids love it." Diane's air quotes were practically weaponized. "I don't care what you've done for years. I've been president for 10 months, and we have procedures. Commercial vehicles need written consent." By now, a crowd had gathered, kids clutching coins, parents exchanging uneasy glances. I edged closer, pretending to fuss with a weed patch for a better VYEW. Tom stayed calm, his voice steady. "I understand, ma'am. If there's new paperwork, I'll handle it for next time. But I'm here now. The kids are excited. Can I serve them today?" Diane's face turned a shade of crimson that clashed with her power blazer. "Absolutely not. Rules are rules. Leave, or I'll call the police for trespassing." That's when I couldn't stay silent. I'm not one for confrontations, but Diane's tyranny had to stop. "Actually, Diane," I said, stepping forward, "I've read the HOA bylaws. There's no rule against ice cream trucks. The solicitation clause covers door-to-door sales, not mobile vendors on public streets." Her head snapped toward me, eyes narrowing like a hawk's. "Our streets are private, owned by the HOA," she hissed. "As president, I can remove unauthorized VY siders." I held my ground, adrenaline surging. "That's not true. The HOA maintains the streets, but they're public. Tom has a city license to operate here." Murmurs of agreement rippled through the crowd, emboldening me. Diane's jaw tightened, her mind clearly racing for a new attack. She spun back to Tom, pointing at the ground beneath his truck. "Your vehicle is leaking oil all over our pristine streets." Everyone looked. The pavement was spotless. "There's no leak, Diane," I said, my patience thinning. Undeterred, she pivoted. "That music is a noise violation. Section 12, Paragraph 4 bans excessive noise." Mrs. Lynn, bouncing her toddler nearby, cut in. "It's 4 p.m. on a Saturday. The noise rule starts at 9 p.m. Diane's face twitched, her authority slipping. Then, in a move that stunned us all, she lunged at the truck's serving window, grabbing the sliding door and yanking it. "Leave now!" she shrieked, her voice a screech that surely broke her own noise ordinance. Tom stepped back, alarmed. "Ma'am, don't touch my property. I'll go if that's what everyone wants." "It's just you, Diane," I shot back. Parents nodded, kids looked heartbroken. Diane let go but stood firm, blocking the kids' path. Then, in a moment that would live in Crestwood infamy, she snatched a decorative rock from a nearby lawn and hurled it at the truck's menu board. It missed, hitting a stack of napkins that fluttered like confetti. Kids yelped, more startled than scared. Tom slammed his window shut. "Diane, are you insane?" I shouted, stepping between her and the truck. "There are kids here." She shoved me aside, pulling out her phone. "I'm calling 911. This man is trespassing, and you're all interfering with HOA business." Tom, calm despite it all, said, "Please do. I'd like to report assault and property damage." Diane dialed, pacing like a caged animal, shouting about private property to no one in particular. She told the dispatcher Tom was aggressive, a blatant lie. I called the police myself, as did others, GIVYing the real story. Soon, 2 patrol cars rolled up, lights flashing. Officers Patel and Reynolds stepped out, their faces weary from too many neighborhood spats. Diane rushed them, clipboard outstretched. "Officers, this man's running an illegal business and won't leave." Officer Patel raised a hand. "Ma'am, we've got multiple calls with different stories. Let us talk to the driver." Diane huffed but stepped back. I told Officer Reynolds everything, stressing Diane's rock throwing. Neighbors showed their phone videos, which spread like wildfire through group chats. Reynolds' face hardened as she watched. After a quick huddle with Patel, they approached Diane. "Ms. Mitchell," Patel said, "based on statements in video, you assaulted Mr. Rivera and tried to damage his property." Diane's jaw dropped. "That's ridiculous. I was protecting our community." Reynolds was firm. "Mr. Rivera has a city permit. Your HOA can't override that. These are public roads, not private. We checked the records." Diane's defiance cracked, but she doubled down. "He was disturbing the peace." "You were," Reynolds said sharply. "Mr. Rivera's pressing charges for assault and attempted property damage." Diane's final blunder was explosive. "This is outrageous. Do you know who I am? I'll have your badges." Patel sighed. "Ms. Mitchell, hands behind your back. You're under arrest for assault, attempted property damage, and threatening an officer." As Patel read her rights, Crestwood watched, stunned. Kids licked ice cream cones, wide-eyed, as Diane, the self-styled queen of Crestwood, was cuffed, her blazer askew, her bob wilting. 2 weeks later, I attended her hearing. The judge, unimpressed by her HOA duty, defense, fined her due law $2,000, ordered due law $500 for Tom's legal fees, and gave her 40 hours of community service, plus a restraining order against Tom and his truck. Looking Diane in the eye, the judge said, "An HOA president has no more power than any citizen. Your bylaws aren't laws. Let this be a lesson." Diane's face fell, speechless for once. The ice cream showdown, as we call it, is now Crestwood legend, fiery clash of power, pride, and a rock that missed its mark, proving even the mightiest HOA tyrant can fall.